So in this function, I have a product. So I can see that my input variable is an x, and the x is being sent to two different things. It's being sent to 5x, and it's also being sent to this exponent up here. So my first term, my 5x, is going to follow the power rule. And since x is an input variable, x prime is just going to be 1. So the derivative of 5x is just 5. 5x is a linear term. The slope of that would just be 5. And then my second term is an e to the functional exponent up there. My exponent is a function. It's not a plain x, so I have to do chain rule. So the base e rule says you rewrite e to that exponent exactly like it was written, but then you tack on the derivative of the exponent. And again, x is just a normal everyday variable, so the derivative of 4x that's linear would just be 4. And then I rearrange the order of the multiplication there. So the derivative of the second came out to be 4 times e to the 4x. And then I plugged that into my product rule. So I did first times derivative of the second plus second times the derivative of the first. And then for that first group, I just multiplied the 5 times the 4 first, and then I multiplied the x, then the base e. And in the second group, I just rearranged the order of that multiplication. And then I asked myself, is there a GCF I can factor out of this? And there is. So 20 and 5 are both multiples of 5, so I can factor out a 5. And both of these groups have an e to the 4x, so I can factor out an e to the 4x. And let me grab, sorry for the technology, grabbing a pen. So when I factor a 5 out of the 20 divided by 5 gave me 4. And I'm also going to factor out that e to the 4x, so that left me just an x, a 4 and an x in there. And then in the other group, I factored out the 5 and I factored out the e to the 4x. So when you factor everything out, you still need a placeholder there because you started with a binomial. So in the parentheses, I need to end up with a binomial. So I need to put a 1 placeholder, because if I distributed my GCF back in the parentheses, 5e to the 4x times 1 would just give me that 5e to the 4x back. So this is my GCF right here that I factored out. And this was the binomial that was remaining. So this is my derivative with the GCF factored out. This up here was my simplified derivative. This up here was my raw derivative when I just applied the product rule. And the last thing I wrote, that's the derivative with the GCF factored out.